You got a Grammy nomination. What's that like?
It's so amazing. I can't even believe that it's happening. It feels so unreal, especially because we're so featured on this album, all the kids, and to have my own song on this album, it really feels like it makes it extra special.
You know, when I always hear about alphabet rockers, I will always think about our alphabet, but you guys are much more than an alphabet. Tell me a little bit about the work.
Yeah, I think that because like you said, we started out like, for kids or, alphabets, ABCs. And I think that we wanted to make it more diverse and for everybody to hear and really talk about the problems that we were seeing in the world that no one else would speak about or that we feel like we weren't hearing in the music that we needed to hear. And I feel like that made it extra important in our goal and mission, especially for our album, The Movement, to really focus on those problems and make sure that we're being more diverse and that everybody can hear it, adults, kids our age, and younger kids as well.
Why is it called The Movement?
I think it's called The Movement because we are on a movement and we want to be in a movement with our community, especially at the time that we were writing this album during the pandemic and all of the other problems that were going on in the world. I think that made it extra important to really focus on the people and how powerful we are, because we are. And I think that's why it's called The Movement, because we all need to be sticking together and caring for one another and just really be supporting and holding each other down.
What does a Grammy nomination mean to you, the nomination itself?
I think that the nomination itself means I wouldn't say exactly more power, because I think the work that we did was the power part, but I feel like it's just an extra bonus in the whole part, and like being able to like see how far we've come as a group and also individually, because this is my first song that I've ever written, and I think that's for me is just like, wow, how far I've come from just starting as a dancer and now being here writing music and singing. So I think it's just like a really nice opportunity to be able to see my growth.
Grammy nomination. How did you hear about it?
It was actually like early in the morning. But I was pretty tired, but then I heard Mr. Dame talking to my dad on the phone when he passed past my room, and he sounded super happy. So then I was guessing like, oh, I feel like we got nominated. And I had a feeling we were gonna get nominated because I felt like the album was super impactful. So I was like hoping that we could get the Grammy this time. And then I heard Mr. Dame talking to my dad about like how happy he was, and then my dad was like, we're gonna go for it, we're gonna get the whole thing, go for it this time. So then I was like, yeah, let's do it.
So it was impactful. This album was super impactful. Tell our viewers the actual name of the album and why you think it was impactful.
The album is called The Movement. And I feel like our album is just super strong because we have a bunch of key pieces of just restorative justice, like with Miss Caitlin's song, like coming into yourself, and just everything like that, with Maya's song, like telling us whose turn it is in the youth, in the next generation. And then with Kali's song, opening up like the government and the problems that they're having and who our leaders are and who's making the decisions that we are suffering for. And then with my song also, like the systems that we're having and how we could change the systems and what the systems are actually built for and how they are built to oppress the people that they are oppressing.
So tell me the name, what's the title of your song, and how do you describe it to those who haven't heard it yet?
My song is called The Change Up, and it's about just exposing the systems and talking about how we could change the systems that are built to oppress people and how they're actually obviously done to do that. And the system is not broken, it's supposed to do that. And how we could change things about especially a jail system, and how those, like, should people be able to change, and like should people be able to like change from things. And also there's two sides of that from my opinion, but it's just we have to change the systems that are built to oppress us, and we have to recognize the systems before we try to change it.
What was the driving force for joining Alphabet Rockers, Mr. Alumni? Mr. Old Timer.
Well, I was introduced to the group by Tommy and his dad, but I've always liked the artistic expression. I've been allowed at the group, and it's really open to let me express everything, you know? And it was something new. I was trying something new with this performing and everything, being on these songs, and it was something I always stuck with, and I used that to express my
Express
stuff.
yourself.
Yeah, express myself.
So tell me about the movement. How do you describe this nominated work to those who haven't heard it yet? What is it?
Well, I feel like it's a collection of music that's helping everybody in the community, you know what I mean? And it's bringing a lot of awareness to things that are happening in everyday life, and also allowing us to go through it and you know, find joy in in the struggle, you know what I mean? And it allows us to all talk to each other and talk to other people about what's going on, and really being a community when we're talking about things that's happening to everybody.
Like what, for example? Like what are some of the struggles, especially from your perspective, from you're a young person, lived through the pandemics, we're still kind of living through it, and other stuff, all the other stuff that's going on. What are you guys living with that's causing so much?
I feel like a lot of the time there's a lot of ageism, and there's like an idea that's been going on through generation and generation that's showing that we don't, you know, we're not as represented when we're sharing our messages, because it's like we don't have the power to be able to change things. But I feel like we're having a lot more artistic expression in this new album, and we've been able to express more things and our ideas on more things, and it's trying to change in that idea and that narrative, you know what I mean? And we're allowed to speak up more as the youth.
How did you hear about this nomination?
I don't even know. I just got a text, and I was like, I was just stunned. It just caught me out of nowhere. It was a nomination. I'm always happy with that, and I was just shocked. Yeah.
And what would happen if you were to actually win this? I mean, you've been nominated before.
Yeah.
You've walked down this path, and you know how that feels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be a huge honor, and I feel like I love the whole community and everything, and it allows us like a new platform, you know what I mean? And it allows us to get our representation, you know what I mean? And allows us to be more widespread and allow more people to hear us.